Welcome to This Week in West Hempstead, sponsored by Spiegel Law PC, 516-873-1683, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, I&D Glot Market, and Reister's Bakery. Here are your hosts, David and Norm. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Dan. And Norm, the first story is in Mineola, but it's just up the block. And a Queens woman was charged for defacing the Teddy Roosevelt statue. Allison Fairbanks, 60 years old, of Queens. On Saturday, she allegedly threw a bucket of red paint or something like that on the statue. She got arrested, and she's let out.
Right, so this statue is located in front of the legislature building. Why they picked that area? Well, obviously it's a public place, and that's where they get a lot of publicity.
Yeah, but Teddy Roosevelt, what does he have to do with the Palestinian cause? I
think they'll throw red paint on anybody they can to get some attention.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm not sure how that advances their cause. Does anybody look at that and go, wow, I really feel bad for them?
It's a really good point.
We're talking about it, and we wouldn't be talking about it.
That's exactly it.
But as Teddy Roosevelt famously said, speak softly and carry a Palestinian flag on a big stick or
there
something
you go.
Like that.
And, our second story, let's go back into West Hempstead. We're going to be honoring education excellence, and in this case, we want to offer a congratulations to Mr. Van Kovics. He was recently named 2024-2025 Elementary Physical Education Teacher of the Year in Nassau, and this is a huge honor, and it's a shout out to all the teachers who really give 100% in everything they do.
Right, and teachers can make a big difference in a kid's life. So it's also a shout out to those teachers that are involved with special needs kids.
And the Phys Ed especially.
If it wasn't tough regularly in Phys Ed, it's got to be much tougher to deal with children who really need the help.
Yeah,
I will say, by the way,
it's especially difficult when your baseball field is underwater. Thank you very much. I'm still not happy about this.
Oh, yeah. So I guess since we're on the local sports category, so people have been coming up to me saying, I heard you complaining about the ball field, and, you should just know that my kids, every year when they go to play, the coach has to go out and buy bags of dirt to lay out, before they go play. And then I have other neighbors who are complaining that their 3-4-year-old kids come home and they're literally covered with mud. This is what's going on in Chestnut.
Yeah, so kids love mud.
Okay, so it's good.
And I think the game's much more fun in mud. But it's an easy fix. I don't know why we keep talking about this. You put in a dry well, it takes no money really to get it done.
You got to dig a hole.
The problem goes away.
Well, first of all, you got to dig a hole, and then it costs money. And I think it has to do with the grading. I think that the infield is lower than around it, so it doesn't.
Why is the school district spending millions of dollars on the football field in the high school, and they're not paying any attention to the lower schools?
That's what really pisses me off. Here we are, we pay some of the highest taxes in the country, let alone the state. You would just think that a ball field that has multi-use, yes, it's part of the school district and the kids use it there, but
it's a community field.
Yeah, and you see some of the other community fields, and they're like pristine, and this one, for the last 20 years, just looks like
it's just a puddle. This is not rocket science.
Yeah, I don't understand why you guys are getting so worked up about this. The simple solution is every kid plays in hip waders, and then you're fine. Then no problem. Everybody stays dry.
And they would love it.
So, as we're talking about groundskeeping, let's focus a little bit on Halls Pond. So, this is a very important announcement. The West Hempstead Community Support Association will host a cleanup event at Halls Pond April 6th from 9 a.m. to noon. Volunteers are encouraged to bring rakes, gloves, and pruning shears. So, it's a constant cleanup. You clean it up, and then people just throw dirt, and then you got the geese crapping all over the place. It's just a mess.
Well, the geese problem is a big problem, not only for that pond, but also for all the parks.
Yeah.
We have, especially, we're talking about the Chestnut Park, that's covered with geese. And so the geese droppings are everywhere, and it's toxic.
Yeah.
And the birds carry bird flu now, especially the waterfowl. So if your kids are playing in parks where there are any birds visiting, you need to think about this.
And that's
the Chestnut Park, I noticed, I think they have like a little cardboard cutout of a dog in the middle there. It's supposed to scare off.
Yeah, but the geese caught on already. They know it's a dog. It's a cutout.
They eat around it.
Yeah.
It's a real issue with Halls Pond. I really would hope that at some point they would dredge it and police it, and also maybe expand the kids' park that's over there,
Right,
with the playground.
that's a beautiful playground.
And there's a little forest area which just doesn't look good at all. And there's so anyway, April 6th, bring your gloves and go down and help
Be
clean
careful
up.
with those pruning shears.
It's a nice idea.
So, Adam, this is a story that's near and dear to you, potholes, and we are in pothole season. What do you think is going on?
It's always pothole season, and I do see the hard workers of the county out there filling those potholes, but that's a temporary fix, and the bigger fix is to pave the streets, the entire streets, and it just seems very haphazard and sporadic the way they pave the streets. They come, they do one street, they disappear, they come back and do another street. Some streets you've literally seen they do half the street and leave the other half unpaved. And maybe there's a shortage with the blacktops and the supply, I don't know.
So in the
it just doesn't make sense why they don't just do the whole area and wait a few years and do the whole area again.
So in 2024, when we had the great paving in the presidential area and surrounding, they didn't get to your area?
I haven't gone to my area, but I just noticed that they do the streets like in a circular way. They don't go down like in any kind of logical, discernible pattern. I don't know.
You want our government to be logical?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
They
you're
just
expecting
communicate
too
with the
much.
public about what the schedule is.
I will say, by the way, my favorite is when they did my section of it, they stopped in the middle of the
Right.
street. Like they were in the intersection and then that was it.
Maybe it's a labor shortage. I don't know. I'm sure there's a rational
it's-
explanation for it, but it just seems
my
very
thing
strange
about-
how they do it so sporadic.
My thing about the potholes is they come in, they fill it, and 2 days later, everything is
Yeah,
gone.
well, in this temperature,
quick fix.
high, low, springtime,
It's a Band-Aid, and it could cause serious damage to a vehicle, and it could cause injury, and it could cause someone to fall into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
People
that's-
walk down the street with their phones, they could end up with their ankle in a pothole.
Yeah, so that ramp coming off the Southern State on Eagle is unbelievable rough.
Horrible.
It's
Yeah.
incredible
Surface
how
of the moon.
how any kind of politician could drive over that and accept that as being.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Maybe that's the answer.
ridiculous.
They never drive over there.
It's really ridiculous. It's embarrassing.
yeah.
And for someone with a bad back, all of a sudden you're in a car hitting a pothole, that can be very painful to you.
Yeah, for sure. So hopefully we'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And maybe now's a good time for us to take a quick commercial break.
Tiffany Dry Cleaner is ready to handle all your cleaning, laundering, and dry cleaning needs. We offer free pickup and delivery Sunday to Friday in all communities. Give us a shot.
Norm, you always take for granted utility poles, right? I mean, it's like they're ubiquitous and they're all over the place and they're all covered with staples from people putting up signs. But if the wood's not good, that could be a big issue. So
they're replacing them all over town. But I've seen some of them that are so bad, they're such bad shape, but they leave it in place and they replace it with another one right next to it.
Yes.
So they leave the old one there, which is snapped in half at the top, and I don't get that at all.
So PSNG sent out some notices this week that they'll be in the neighborhoods inspecting utility poles to make sure that the electrical grid is in great shape, blah, 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 for the summer. But one of the things I don't understand is that on Hempstead Avenue, I thought they had laid underground cables. So, I'm not
As
sure.
I remember it, what that was actually was so that they have their own to send from one power station to the other. It has nothing to do with the consumers of
Oh.
it. That's my understanding.
That was when they killed the internet in the
Yeah.
whole town.
I would love to have all these lines buried underground. Aside from that
Yeah.
being unsightly, it would be so much better not to have to deal with this.
Yeah.
But I mean, them going around saying this is going to ensure the electrical grid, like the pole doesn't do anything with the electricity. It's just holding up the box.
Again, it goes back to we pay not only the highest taxes, but we pay one of the highest utility bills in the country. Putting the cables underground would certainly be a huge
And
advantage.
what the joke is, in Disneyland, there isn't a single wire you can see. Everything's underground.
Yeah.
And so it's all doable, but going
a
from
private
scratch,
corporation.
it's hard.
Yeah, well,
But
okay.
with the quality of storms we've been having, the kind of wind we're having, and frankly, the way people drive around this neighborhood,
Yeah.
I think you need the strongest possible utility poles. Make them out of titanium if you have to.
Yeah.
All right, so libraries under pressure, and apparently there's some critical funding for libraries that's under threat for executive order, the dismantling of the Institute of Museum and Library Services, which could result in a $19 million loss for New York State. And sounds pretty significant, although I will have to say, I don't know exactly what the Institute of Museum and Library Services does. but that.
My guess would be this is certain grants and certain programs are specifically based off of that. So I mean, obviously we know in the school budgeting there is always a budget line for the library. So we're paying for a lot of the library services, but I suspect that a pile like this is available across the state for libraries to use for special programs.
There's going to be a gap, so we'll find out whether the state's going to fill the gap. It's only $19 million. I mean, it may be a significant number, but not in the overall.
Well, you know what? When I did a Google search, it seems to be impacting libraries across the country potentially. But you know, to me, I was thinking about the fact that the library has these free museum passes, so perhaps that program could be in jeopardy. I don't know. I'm just
I
speculating.
don't think we're going to know for a bit whether West Hempstead is specifically affected by this, but you have to think it's going to be whatever. Again, money going out means programs have to get cut.
For sure.
By the way, the museum passes is a great idea because now it's becoming the Easter holiday break.
Yeah.
And kids can go out and visit museums for free, stop at the library. They're free passes for you and the family.
Yeah, for sure. And also, we got Easter and we got Passover coming up. So for Passover, you got some stores like I&D and Stop and Shop, which are, you know, really offer anything you would need for the holiday.
Yeah.
And they got Easter coming up. April 20th, and what would be Easter without, you know,
chocolate bunnies?
And also having Carl Sr. in the back of Restorers making the chocolate bunnies. I mean, it's like, you know, that's what he does. And, you know, stop in for Restorers for your chocolate bunny.
What is the Passover equivalent of the chocolate bunny?
Chocolate Seder plate, maybe? Or I will say the bunnies are out.
Chocolate-covered matzah?
Yeah, the small bunnies are out, but they usually, I think they do a raffle or something like that.
Yeah,
so
for a
keep
big
an
one.
eye out for the giant tall one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, Crossroads Farm. So we love Crossroads Farm. It's just over the southern state in Malvern. And they're scheduling to open up April 5th and 6th. And it should be a lot of fun.
They also have a whole venue that goes on there for kids. Go to their website and check it out because there are a lot of things that kids can get into the fields and really enjoy a farm experience.
It's owned by the county, isn't it, or the town of Hempstead?
I think it's a private.
I know it was owned by the Grossmans, I believe,
The estate.
for like 10, it was sold like 10, 15 years ago.
But it's a conservatory now.
Yeah.
Yep. But they do hold programs all the time, so keep an eye out if you're interested. I think they get school programs, all kind of stuff going on, so
and it'll
definitely
be
take
open-
advantage.
It'll be open from Tuesdays and Fridays from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., and they just have lots of organic, locally grown products.
Yeah, I stopped by for the corn. I love the corn.
It's great stuff. Israeli hockey makes history, so this was a big thing going on locally in West Hempstead, and it took place at the UBS Arena. There was about 8,000 people took place. Some of the local sponsors included Chabad of West
I&D.
Hempstead, I&D, and also our good friend Elon Kornblum with Great Kosher Foodies. And it sounds like young and old had a great time.
Who knew they had ice hockey in the middle of the desert in Israel?
Yeah, I know.
Only in Israel.
I will say, I think there's one arena I'm aware of up in the north of the country, and a couple of people I know who are Canadian originally go up there to play. So there's at least one rink up there.
Yeah, there you go. So who knew?
They got skiing.
We don't even know who won, but I'm not sure we really care.
I know
The best team.
And so just wrapping things up, we just mentioned Restorers, but you know, Restorers always has weekly specials. Dan, what do we got this week?
We got pound cake on sale. They have slices, and I have to tell you, I wanted to take pictures for the Instagram. The slice was this thick. It was gigantic. I think it's like $2.50 each or something.
Did you bring us a sample?
Definitely, I should have brought a sample. Absolutely. They have gluten-free, sugar-free options. So this is your week to get your pound cake in.
All right, so
Right by the pound.
there you go. And also, we love talking about this program that's run by Tzippi Walkenfeld, where she comes and she declutters your life or declutters your home. You can give Tzippi a call at 516-406-2373.
Should do cars? I could use some help in my car.
I don't know. How much organizing can you need in your car?
I don't believe it.
I don't know, but you know, we do have 2 great car washes around the community. So that'll wrap it up for this week in West Hempstead. I want to thank you, Norm. I want to thank you, Dan. I want to thank you, Adam.
Anytime.
It's been this very spirited conversation. Go out and go buy your matzah and go buy your
Easter bunnies.
Restorers chocolate bunnies. Have a great week.
Drive safely.
Enjoy the weather.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Please be sure to visit our sponsors, Spiegel Law PC, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, I&D Glot Market, and Reister's Bakery. To find out more or to reach out to us, come visit us on social media at Facebook and Instagram, or visit our website at westhempsteadecho.com.